building those relationships has been super cool. It's awesome to learn about everyone else's unique journey to the Paralympics.
So you competed in 2022 at the Paralympic Games, right?
Correct.
And how was that? I mean, it was a bit weird, I know.
It was a very interesting experience for a number of reasons. First, obviously, COVID was interesting, and being in China, there were a number of limitations and restrictions. So hopefully Milan will be a lot looser. And then also, I was extremely new. I had just started para-skiing a couple of months prior, and I didn't even qualify through the normal route. I had received a bipartite invitation through the IPC to get there, so I wasn't on an official roster spot through Team USA. And so with that, I had not expected to be there, and so it was all a very new experience. I didn't know who any of my competitors were, I didn't know who my teammates were, I didn't know who the coaches were, everything was new. It was a little bit terrifying. It was really exciting, but terrifying at the same time. I wouldn't say I'm a seasoned veteran. I still feel very new and I have a lot to learn, but it is very nice that I now know who I can ask those questions to, and I have people to look up to, and it's nice to see familiar faces on the start line, and so I'm looking forward to going to this with some experience under my belt.
You're from Minnesota, right?
Correct, yep.
Where are you from, and how has that community helped you in your journey?
Yeah, so I'm from Stillwater, Minnesota, and that's helped tremendously. We have a super strong skiing culture there. Jessie Diggins, who a lot of people know the name, went to Stillwater Area High School as well, and so she's been instrumental in building up the U.S. ski team, and I was fortunate to follow in her footsteps and have a super strong pipeline of skiers. Our high school had a great culture behind it of skiing, and then from there, just having that community made a great difference.
You got an interesting story. You were 13 when everything started happening to change your life, but you decided to branch out and try para-Nordic skiing because of the process that you had just gone through. How did all that line up? How did that come together?
Yeah, so I first got sick with dystonia when I was 13 years old, and at the time it was primarily affecting my left arm. But dystonia is a progressive neurological disease, and so with time it continued to progress and get more severe, limiting the use of my left arm and my left leg. And so then when I was a sophomore in college, it became more severe, and I was starting to feel a lot more limited in how I was able to ski. And at the time I was skiing NCAA Division 1, and so I was still trying to find options to be able to compete at a high level. And at that time is when I was trying to branch out and start para-skiing, and figured out I would be eligible for it, and so that's when I went through the classification process. And then after classifying, I went and raced in my first World Championships race, and then there I did well enough, and that's where I received that bipartite invitation from the IPC.
That is a fast track right there between making that decision and then going to the Olympics.
Yeah, things turned upside down very fast.
In a sport that, arguably, it moved, you move at your pace. In that situation, you were forced to move at another pace. I mean, it was like accelerated Paralympics 101.
Yes, for sure.
What are you most hoping to get out of these Paralympic Games in Italy?
I think, obviously, from a results perspective, it would be nice to improve upon my results from Beijing, but there's a lot of factors that go into that, and it's ultimately just a couple days out of the year, and so not super focused on that, but I just want to go there and have a good time. I've really enjoyed the process of training, and I ski because I just love to ski. I love to go on adventures in the mountains, and so I think it'll be fun to be there. There will be spectators there. We'll be able to socialize with other athletes from other countries. Building those relationships has been super cool. It's awesome to learn about everyone else's unique journey to the Paralympics, and so I'm super excited to learn about all that.